Hi friends, my name is Sarah and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I want to share with you 10 things that I did not expect about Japan. If you're going to Japan for the very first time, you probably have done so many research. I actually did probably about a year of research on and off before I finally went to Japan last November in 2023. And I have heard so many great things that I do expect when I do get to Japan. And I actually did make a video about that a couple weeks ago and I will link it down below if you want to check it out right after this video. However, there are some things that I experienced in Japan that I did not expect at all. The first thing is about the Shinkansen. Shinkansen is the super fast bullet train that you probably will take if you are going to some other parts of Japan. For example, I actually landed in Tokyo and then I took the bullet train to go to Kobe. And then from Kobe, I took the local trains to go to Osaka and then Kyoto. And then from Kyoto, I took another Shinkansen to go back to Tokyo before I fly out of Japan. And there are so many videos out there about the Shinkansen on how to buy the tickets, how to reserve the seats, and it makes it so complicated. But I actually found this one app. It is called the Smart X app, and on this app you can actually buy your Shinkansen ticket whether you want the reserved seating or the non-reserved seating. So when you open the app on your phone, obviously you have to log in because you have to make an account. Once you are on the homepage of the app, you can go on the Shinkansen tickets option, and this is the way you want to search for your train depending on the station that you are gonna be getting on the Shinkansen from. There's actually a few different trains like Nozomi, Hikari, Kodama, Mizuho, Sakura, and Tsubame. So you can choose from those trains because if you have done your research, those trains actually kind of run a bit differently. There are some that takes longer because they stop at more stops. There are some like the Nozomi where it doesn't stop until like 45 minutes to an hour after you left Tokyo Station. You can also just buy the non-reserved seating, so you just buy the ticket for the whole day, and then it doesn't matter what time you get on the train, which train you want, you just have to go into the non-reserved car. But this app makes my life so much easier. It is super easy to navigate, and you can even choose your seat and then it will tell you which seats are available. You can go through the whole schedule of the train to see which train has more available seatings and all of that. It is such a lifesaver. If you want me to do a separate video sharing how to use this app to buy your Shinkansen tickets, let me know in the comment below. The second thing that is super unexpected about Japan, and I learned that when I get there, is how to order food at restaurants. There are actually 3 main ways that I noticed that honestly make ordering your food at restaurants so much better, so much more efficient, and especially if you are someone who do not really speak a lot of Japanese like I do, or someone who just don't want to talk to people if you are very introverted. These options are probably something that you would love about Japan. If you have seen videos, Google Photos, Instagram posts about those vending ticket machine at ramen shops, you would love it so much because it is so easy to kind of figure out what you want to buy. There's obviously sometimes 2 to maybe 5 different type of ramens you can buy at a ramen shop. You basically just pick and choose on those machine, and then you pay for it already. You got a ticket and then you wait in line to be seated, and once you get a seat, you just hand over that ticket to either the chef or the waiters, and then they will go ahead and prepare your food. Minimal talking, minimal interaction with people. It's just, I love it. Another way you can also order is by QR codes. Usually it depends on where you are sitting. There will be like a QR code on your table. You can scan it with your phone and then the menu will pop up on your phone, and again you can kind of order through the QR code, and then because you scan it on your table, they know where to bring your food to. The last thing, and I see more of these, are those tablets that you can order from your table or your booth. Most of the restaurants in Japan that I went to are very traveler friendly, so they do have English menu already. You just have to tap on the English menu. You can order from there. Sometimes you can even pay on the tablet, but most of the time you still have to go to like the register. Every single thing about the ordering experience have been thought out. The next thing that is unexpected for me is how many people actually are able to speak English and are willing to help you out. I feel like if you have done your research, many people, even like Japanese channel, would tell you that Japanese people are too shy to speak English even though they learn English in school. If you don't read and speak Japanese like I do, you would be fine because there's a lot of English signs everywhere. And surprisingly, there are more people who are willing to help you in English. And let me give you a quick example. When we finally get to Kobe, we wanted to go to a coin locker and drop off our stuff because because we actually shipped our luggage from Tokyo to Osaka. So we only packed a backpack that have like about one night of clothes and also toiletries. When we get to the Shin-Kobe station, there are literally no lockers that are available. I even see some people kind of like waiting around to see if people are gonna get their stuff out of the lockers. So I have to go to the other station. I think it was Kobe Sanomiya station, and even over there's no coin lockers, and we were wondering like what is going on. There must be an event where people are basically dropping off all of their stuff in the lockers and go out and go to whatever that event is. So when we were at the Kobe Sanomiya station, there's this one lady who was kind of looking at us, knowing that we were kind of lost or need help, and she speaks perfect English to me, asked me if I need any help, and she even asked the train station staff for the questions that I have, which was, where is the coin locker? Even after she helped me the first time, I bumped into her again not long after that, and again she still asked me to make sure that I have been helped, and I got to find those coin lockers. We were finally able to find one because someone was picking up their stuff right at the last minute before we gave up, so we just dropped off our stuff there. But people are helpful, they are very friendly. If you maybe say sumimasen, which is just excuse me before you speak in English, they are understanding that you don't speak Japanese. All of the time people have been really friendly. The next thing that is unexpected for me is that they're actually still angry or pissed off store clerks or workers. If you have done your research well, you probably know that customer service in Japan is top-notch, and I do experience that in most of our interactions with people at the hotel, people at the stores, people at the train station, bus stops, you name it. But I still did encounter two specific encounters where I can tell that they're just not in a good mood. I don't think they're angry or mad at me, but you can tell that they're not having the best day. One of them is actually at a Family Mart across from our hotel in Tokyo. I went there probably like super late, around 10:30 p.m. This person is the only person who was working there. There's nobody else, but I did buy 4 or 5 food items that he needs to help me heat up. He was also kind of stocking, and then he needs to help me heat up all of those food items. And honestly, I don't blame him. If I were him, I would probably get a little bit moody as well because I'm busy, I'm only by myself, and you want me to heat up 4 food items? At the end, he was still being nice to me. The other encounter that I experienced was at the Kawaguchiko station, which is probably the busiest station as well, other than those main stations in Tokyo. Kawaguchiko station is basically bus stops, train station for anyone that are coming to see Mount Fuji. So if you are taking the bus from Tokyo, you will stop there. You will also take the bus back from the same station. So this lady probably just have had enough. Maybe she didn't have time to take a break, but she was just kind of moody. I can tell that she did not have a good day that day. That station was so busy. It's a small, way smaller station than all of those other big ones in Tokyo, and that's basically the main hub for people to leave in and out of the Fuji, Yoshida, Kawaguchiko area to see Mount Fuji. So it was just a mess, honestly. But with that being said, there's still many experiences in Japan where again the customer service was top-notch. They were very helpful, very friendly, very understanding that I do not speak Japanese, even though all of them, I want to say, always think that we are Japanese, which I'm flattered, but unfortunately we do not speak Japanese other than a few phrases that I learned from TikTok and YouTube and Google Translate. The next thing that I did not expect about Japan is the local people still hang out at the tourist attractions and tourist spots. This is especially true for Shinjuku and Shibuya. I feel like it's obviously where they live, that's where they hang out. Even though there are so many travelers around that area, I still see the locals hang out and have fun, go out late at night. I live in Las Vegas, even though we are about 20 minutes away from the main Las Vegas Boulevard or the Strip, but we rarely hang out there because we know it's busy. There are a lot of travelers and tourists there. Everything is so much more expensive, and if you even just go about 5-10 minutes away from the Strip, like to the Chinatown area, everything is much cheaper there. It was just kind of unexpected for me to see so many locals hang out at those touristy spots. So the next thing that is kind of unexpected are those Pokemon centers and anime stores only selling character merchandise. I kind of know and noticed from the videos that I watch of people from Japan that they are really into character collaborations and character character merchandise. I really thought that Pokemon centers especially would sell games, cards, but most of the stores that we went to, especially the Pokemon centers, as well as other anime stores, most of them are selling character merchandise. And to be honest with you, I'm not really into it. Ricky's not really into merchandise either. Although we did get a coin purse from a Pokemon center at Ikebukuro, but it was just kind of unexpected how big character merchandise are in Japan. If you are someone who are really into character merchandise, you would love the stores in Japan. The next thing that are unexpected is how people still talk pretty loudly in some of the trains. If you research the do's and don'ts in Japan, one of them is about not talking in Japan trains because most people like to keep it to themselves. It's actually pretty quiet on most of the trains that we actually took in Tokyo, even in Osaka and Kyoto. On the Shinkansen, you can kind of talk a little bit, but most of the time you heard that in the local trains, nobody talk. It's basically silence. However, in some of the trains that we took, the train is pretty loud. It's not that quiet. I feel like you could still talk, especially if you kind of whisper. I usually just whisper into Ricky's ears on the trains if I need to tell him something. There are loud people, and I feel like some of them are kind of acceptable, especially in the evening train when people just get off from work. They usually take the train with their coworkers and they probably still talk about whatever it is that they were talking about at work. But overall, I would still keep conversation at a minimum because you just don't know if it's gonna be a louder train or just a really, really quiet train. Do expect that there are still people who are gonna be talking a bit louder than like whispers on the trains, but most of the time I just don't really talk as much because I just wanna not stand out and keep within the train culture, I guess. The next thing that was kind of unexpected for me is how easy it is to bump into other travelers. Usually when we do travel, we just keep it to ourselves, especially in Japan, because one, it was our first time in Japan and we're just learning about the culture of how people travel and how local live. Honestly, we didn't expect to be bumping into other people who are also traveling throughout Japan. We actually bumped into a couple from Ireland at our Yakatabune dinner in Asakusa, and they are currently living in Brunei. We got seated on the same table because there's only two of them as well, and they don't have a big enough group to take over the whole table. It was just cool to talk about our experience traveling throughout Japan and how they came to live in Brunei. And another time we also bumped into a guy from Germany in the Mount Fuji area, and it was just pretty cool to talk about his experience traveling throughout Japan. And it was just kind of interesting how he didn't have any plan when he flew to Japan and just go day by day, when I'm pretty like strict and have a schedule and sometimes even a time when we have to leave a stop and then have to go on the next one. It was just kind of unexpected, and it was actually really nice learning from other people who love to travel as well. And hopefully someday we'll be able to do more traveling and bump into more travelers and just exchange experiences and stuff like that. The next thing that I actually didn't expect to do it is to take advantage of the luggage delivery service in Japan. I honestly didn't want to spend extra money to send our luggage because it could cost from maybe about $30 to $40 depending on the size of your luggage and how many there are and how far you're going. But I'm just so thankful that we actually use it because it is really, really helpful. You don't have to really think about going down the stairs or up the stairs with your luggage. When you get into your destination, your luggage might be there a day after, depending on like when you ship it. But it's just so much easier, and it's totally worth spending the extra $20, $40. If you are debating whether or not you want to use the luggage delivery service, just do it. If you want me to do a separate video going through about how to request it, how it is and stuff like that, let me know in the comments and I will definitely make that video for the future. Last but not least, this one thing is, I guess I kind of expect, but people are still out really late at night, even during the weekday, to just have fun, let loose with their coworkers or their friends. This is especially true in area like Shibuya and Shinjuku. I just see so many people still out there with their briefcase and their suit, and it was pretty late at night, like maybe 8 to like 10 p.m, which I feel like sometimes something that we should do maybe more often to relieve stress. That is something that I kind of expect, but I just didn't expect to see so many of them. Let me know in the comments below what are some of the things that you are curious about Japan, and maybe I will do a future video about those topics. So if you want to see more Japan travel videos and recommendations, make sure to subscribe before you leave, and I will see you on the next one. Bye!